Let's begin with a bold truth most people avoid. The world was never designed to make you comfortable on a human level. And if you're honest with yourself, you already feel this deep down. No matter how much you chase stability, relationships, money, or success, there's always this quiet itch, this dissatisfaction that never quite goes away. That's because you didn't come here to build a life of comfort. You came here to awaken. And life will continue to shake you, not because it hates you, but because you've forgotten what you truly are. We've been conditioned to believe that the goal of life is to be happy in the human sense, to settle down, find love, get a career, make enough money, and maybe find a little peace before we die. But non-duality and ancient spiritual wisdom point to something radically different. That this entire dream, this realm of form, is not what it seems. The more you try to get comfortable here, the more life will send discomfort, not to punish you, but to pull you back into the truth of your being. Because ultimate satisfaction does not come from this world. And the sooner you stop expecting it to, the sooner you start to awaken. This is why life brings challenges. This is why, just when you think you figured it out, something collapses. The job falls through. The relationship ends. Your health declines. Your plans fall apart. And the ego screams, "Why me?" But the deeper truth is this: you are not being punished. You are being invited to stop seeking comfort in what constantly changes. Invited to rest in the changeless space within. Invited to see that the human level is not your home. The ego, which is your mind-made identity, is always chasing something in the external world. It believes, once I get this, then I'll be at peace. But it never arrives. It only jumps to the next thing. It lives in future and past, in wanting and avoiding. And as long as you believe you are the ego, you will keep searching for comfort in a place that only offers temporary relief. Awakening shatters that illusion. You begin to realize there is no final arrival point in the dream of form. There is only presence, only this moment, only the awareness that sees the dream. Now here's the paradox. The more you try to make the world comfortable, the more uncomfortable it becomes. But the more you let go of the need for comfort, the more peaceful you feel, no matter what's happening. Why? Because you've stopped trying to fix life and instead started flowing with it. You've stopped resisting the present moment. You've stopped demanding that life match your mental images of how it should be. And in doing so, you've returned to your natural state, presence. Life, in its deepest intelligence, is not interested in your ego's comfort. It's interested in your liberation. So, it uses the very things the ego fears: failure, heartbreak, uncertainty, to loosen its grip. Not because life is cruel, but because life loves you too much to let you sleep forever. That painful breakup? It stripped you of attachment. That illness? It brought you into the present. That financial collapse? It showed you how little control the ego actually has. These aren't setbacks. These are spiritual earthquakes. They shake the ground beneath your feet so you can realize you were never meant to stand on that ground in the first place. Every major awakening story begins with discomfort. Nobody wakes up because everything is going great. People wake up when life brings them to their knees, when the old life falls apart, when they have no choice but to look inward. The suffering humbles the ego, cracks it open, and creates space for something deeper to emerge. Not a better version of you, but the death of the false you. This is why true peace doesn't come from fixing your life. It comes from no longer needing to. You don't have to stop desiring things. You just have to stop depending on them for peace. Because that's not peace. That's a bargain. Real peace is unconditional. It's there when everything goes wrong. It's there when you're alone, broke, or sick. It doesn't come from what's happening. It comes from what you are. You are not your life story. You are the awareness in which that story is unfolding. And the more you identify with the story, the more you suffer. The more you identify with awareness, the more you see. The story was never who you were. It was just a movie on the screen. You were the screen the whole time. So life keeps bringing discomfort, not because you've done something wrong, but because you're still trying to find yourself in what you are not. You're still hoping that a better career, a better partner, or a better version of yourself will give you peace. But the peace doesn't live there. It lives here, in this moment, in presence, in the silence beneath all thoughts. And the beautiful part is, once you stop chasing comfort, something miraculous happens. You stop fearing discomfort. You stop resisting what is, and you begin to live in alignment. You begin to see life not as an enemy, but as your greatest ally in awakening. Every breakdown becomes a breakthrough. Every loss becomes a letting go. Every ending becomes a doorway to something deeper. You're no longer trying to fix the dream. You're waking up from it. Comfort was never the goal. Awakening was. But here's the gift. When you awaken, you find a peace that's far deeper than comfort. You find a stillness that remains untouched by chaos. You find a freedom that doesn't depend on circumstances. And you start living from a space of truth, not fear. So the next time life shakes you, pause, breathe, and ask yourself, am I being punished or am I being called? Because in most cases, what looks like destruction is actually construction. Life is tearing down what no longer serves the truth of who you are. You are not here to build a perfect human life. You are here to remember what is beyond the human, beyond time, beyond space, beyond all form. And that's why you're here. Not to escape the human experience, but to transcend it. Not to avoid suffering, but to awaken through it. Not to become more comfortable, but to become more conscious. You were never meant to get cozy in the dream. You were meant to wake up from it. So if this message resonates with you, if you feel life calling you to something deeper, I invite you to take that inner journey. And if you'd like a guide along the way, check out my spiritual book, Awaken Your Spiritual Power. It's available now on Amazon. Inside, I go deeper into these topics in clear, simple language. No fluff, no spiritual bypassing, just truth, raw and real. Thank you for watching. Stay present, stay awake, and remember, the world will never give you permanent comfort because you didn't come here to get comfortable. You came here to wake up. Namaste.